Okay, so recording has started. I mean, I know other people will come also one by one. First of all, can you guys type in the chat window kya, in this session what exactly you want to know? Because this is an open-end session. Crypto is a very big area and spectrum. I'll try to cover the learning session in most of the videos that I'm going to build, of course. But the reason you have joined, what you want to know, just one liner from everybody so that it gives me a seed pointer to start. Okay, basics. Okay, sure. We'll start with basics. So Balaji, have you? That means you have. Okay, how to understand? Basically, how to decide to buy a coin. Okay, good point. The basics will definitely start because there would be few people who ideally. Yes, Rajputji, you want to say something? You can type actually. Pricing, brokerage, platform, transaction charges. Okay, that generally varies. IUSG. I'll still try to cover a little bit that what these pricing and brokerages are, because this will really depend upon a detailed list of good coins. Okay, yeah, sure. I mean, we will
So
cover.
now we get
So the topic of this video agenda from my side is the thumbnail that I was preparing is something like everything you need to know as a beginner in the crypto window to start with. Okay, because crypto crypto is a very big segment. Okay, so let us start. It is recording a new plan, so can understand. There are different types of brokerages and plans. Yes, of course. It's not only okay. That will cover in basics. I'll keep in mind that pricing, brokerages, and platforms I cover. That's for sure. And how you're going to hold it and all those stuff also. So most of the things that I generally, I mean, the first site that you ideally would like to look at every time to look at the market, how the market is behaving in the crypto world is ideally this site, coinmarketcap.com. Okay, so that answers your questions. Goodbye. What you asked, that would list of the coins that basically you would like to place for buying or holding and all those stuff, right? So coin market cap, if you look at now, you can see first of all, if you understand the jargons, the words that are presented in this website, you would be very clear on the basics. And few of the things I'll tell you what is there. Probably you might not understand. So starting with the basics, guys. So cryptocurrency, everybody knows that it's a digital world, right? Everything here is digital, and it's a digital currency actually. Okay, so if it is accepted by the government of the few countries, then it might just go ahead and replace the traditional banking system on the world, but that might be a very long way to go. But few countries have started accepting legally, the country which are accepting in terms of payments, like Australia, United Kingdom, okay, and all those countries, developed countries, they've started recognizing at least Bitcoin. Okay, so there are many coins in this world. Uh, so, for example, you have a Chinese yen, right? Indian rupees, dollars, Zimbabwean dollars. Let's say nobody would recognize the Zimbabwean dollar and would like to trade there, even if it's a currency of a particular country, right? Similarly, if you go Vietnam, I when I travel across the world, I mean, especially in Southeast Asia, Vietnam dongs are generally not accepted in any outlet in the airport. Okay, in their own airport itself. Forget about other countries' airport. Okay, the problem there is basically Vietnam dong is ideally heavily diluted. Okay, and Zimbabwe, though when Zimbabwe, Venezuela, all those countries currency is heavily diluted, right? So how the currency gets diluted? Can anybody answer the question in the chat? How a country's currency gets diluted? Yeah, investment we'll talk about. Can anybody write just in the chat how a country's current currency gets diluted? Yes, of course, excessive printing. So currency is like a paper note, right? I can go ahead and print it out. Okay, I can just go ahead and buy some ink and print it out. So if government of India wants to print, let's say 2000 rupees note, right? So so I don't know how many knows, how many of you know. So for example, if I want to print a 1 rupee coin, okay, the price is spent around 1.7 rupees to 2 rupees to print that coin. Similarly, a 5 rupees note or a 20 rupees note would be around 2 rupees, and a 2000 rupees note would be around 5 rupees. Okay, so it's very easy for a country like India. If RBI decides I want to print like billions of 2000 rupees note, I just go ahead and print it. My cost is only 5 rupees per note, right? So a country can do it, but there are some regulation. You just cannot go ahead and print it just like that. You ideally need to give some gold reserves and other assets in the International Monetary Fund to basically get the approval and print it. But still, if you don't get that, I can go ahead and decrease the value of mine also by printing, where I say my amount of gold reserve is going to remain same, okay, but I'm going to basically decrease the value in terms of dollars, because dollar is the main benchmark in terms of currency dilution calculations, right? So yeah, same thing applies into cryptocurrency. It's not physical. So in a note, you basically go ahead and do it. It's not physical. But in a digital currency, can I go ahead and print the digital currency at my own will? Okay. Can I print the digital currency? That means, for example, if I have, yeah, it's exchange rate versus other currencies. Okay. The print digital currency, the answer is ideally no. Most of them will not be able to. Okay, not able to. But there are certain coins, and I mean theoretically you can, but most of the people do not prefer. So the coins that you see like BTC, Ethereum, and all those, right? There is a limited supply to these coins. Why we said limited supply? It's not like we cannot. I mean, there is a system which is restricting you to print. I mean, get maximum number of bitcoins or Ethereum coins. It's basically mining the gold. So basically, there is a gold reserve you have, right? If you are mining the gold, someday it will basically get empty. The gold mine will get empty. Similarly for BTC and ETH also. Okay, how the I don't know how many people know about mining, but you can actually go ahead and mine the coins BTC and ETH and other coins free of cost. I mean, it's not free of cost. You have to put computer, CPU, VGA cards, okay, graphics card, and all those just to print it. The way I say print it, basically you generally solve a puzzle, okay, because everything is in blockchain. Okay, blockchain may you cannot alter the previous transactions data. Okay, that is the main advantage of cryptocurrency. So you cannot do a scam on a blockchain. Okay, like they say you probably give bribes to people, right? You can give cash to people, to any politician and all those, and there is no trace. Probably possibly there might not be any trace, but in a blockchain you cannot do it, because it is a public in nature and anybody can go ahead and do investigation. If you have transferred any money in a blockchain, the transaction is logged. If you are trying to alter that transaction which is in the past, the system itself will not allow you, because there are other computers which are connected to this which will not approve you to alter any previous data. Okay, and that is why cryptocurrency might be a good bet. Okay, might be a good bet for future. Okay, whenever like 70 years back, when people were trading in basically metals like gold, silver, bronze, copper, and all those stuff, nobody thought of that a paper currency will come and replace this kind of trading ecosystem, right? Right? Paper currency. So if you look at 70 to 80 years back, probably more than a little bit more than that, probably 100 years when the first currency was printed, 150 years back, nobody was thought that paper currencies are going to rule the world. Okay, and the same thing you can apply here. Cryptocurrency is at that stage right now. You never know that after 100 years this cryptocurrency is going to basically be the default method of doing trading. Okay, now coming to, okay, people who are, can you mute yourself? Just a second, if you are not talking. Yeah, now coming to the printing of digital currency, when we talk about printing, it is ideally you should consider printing as mining. Okay, so you can go ahead and mine from a pool, and mining happens in BTC ETH. You solve a puzzle. And the moment you start getting more and more coins, Vishwanathji, please don't unmute yourself. Yeah. So when you start getting more and more coins from the ecosystem, the difficulty of the puzzle becomes bigger. Okay. And that is what creates scarcity in the coin, whether it is Bitcoin or it is ETH or something else. And that is why we say this concept is called limited supply concept of coins. Okay. Limited supply concept of coins. Okay. Can I differentiate? Can I define my supply limit? Yes. So if you are creating, let's say, your own coin, you can define the supply limit. Okay. For example, Shiba Inu, right? I do trade there. It has a huge supply, and that is the reason the price is not going very, very high. Okay. How do you reduce down basically the volatility and increase the value of the coin? It is opposite to dilution. It is anti-dilution, right? When we discussed right now, okay, how dilution happens if you print more money, if you so in this case, if you mine more money, okay, or your initial supply is very huge, which is the case of Shiba Inu. Now, how do you increase the value of that coin? You have to burn. The concept of anti-dilution in cryptocurrency, the concept is called burning of coins. Okay. You might probably hear that word in internet or in some YouTube videos that people are planning or the founders are planning or the developers are planning to burn some of the Shiba Inu coins, and that is how the price might get increased. Okay. That's also you can create. So what you are doing is basically you are basically controlling the demand and supply. If you're burning the coins, the supply will reduce and the demand to supply ratio will go more, right? And if your supply is huge, the demand would be less anyway. It's ultimately a demand supply game. Okay. Now coming to this one, that what are the coins basically that you can go ahead and start looking at. Okay, so the world's first coin was ideally BTC. Okay, a Bitcoin. Then the second biggest is ETH. Then you have few more like XRP, Ripple. Okay, how do you define that which one is the best coin and which one is not? It is basically the solution is very simple. You just go ahead and look at the volume that has been trading on a regular basis on a day-to-day basis. Okay. And if you look at the volumes itself will tell. For example, if you see this, here is a market cap. Okay. Now people generally ask questions. If the market cap is huge, is a coin actually better in nature? Okay. Right. The answer is a little bit depends. For example, if you look at the number one coin here today, I mean in the today is Bitcoin, second is Ethereum, third is BNB, which is the Binance exchange own coin. If you look at the market cap here, the Bitcoin is highest, Ethereum is second, and the third one is Bitcoin right now. Yeah.
सर सर स्क्रीन नहीं दिख रहा है सर.
Oh, screen is not okay. Somebody should have told me that. Oh, I have been typing so many things. Okay, you guys didn't actually saw this. Is it visible now?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes,
somebody should have
yes.
solved it because I have been typing all these things. Okay, anyway, so yeah, so we talked about what we talked about dilution, anti-dilution concept. How is it related to burning and the initial supply of the coin? You can't hear me? Am I audible, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes, sir,
Okay,
you are audible.
आयुष जी आपका कोई प्रॉब्लम होगा प्लीज rejoin. Yeah. So we talked about the concept of dilution and anti-dilution compared to the current currency ecosystem, and I gave an example that how paper currency was accepted or there was reluctance in accepting them 150 years back. The same thing is happening in cryptocurrency. So cryptocurrency is a very, very longer game. It's not a shorter game. We'll come to day trading also, that how should you do day trading in cryptocurrency. But I do not do day trading in cryptocurrency. I generally invest and keep it on a longer term. Okay. We'll come up and see that what are some of the strategies I follow in investing actually. Okay. Now coming to after this, coming to here, the coinmarketcap.com. Yeah, this is the site you need to look at basically to have a very holistic picture of what is happening in the crypto world. Okay, this is where I start my day whenever I look at it. Actually, you can say here the base gainers, which are the trending ones, which are the coins which are recently being added into the ecosystem. Okay, how you can create the coin, I'll tell later. Now coming to the value of the coin we're talking about, there are a few things that you need to look at. Price doesn't matter. Okay, price doesn't matter here. Bitcoin is at $58,000. It is at Ether is at $1 only. Okay, the price in a cryptocurrency world doesn't matter. What matters is the acceptance by the community, because it's the community which is going to accept. So for example, tomorrow UK, Australia, who are accepting Bitcoin now, tells that we are not going to accept Bitcoin anymore. You could see a heavy dip here. And it is possible, I have seen in the past, cryptocurrencies can dip up to 90%. Okay, so your portfolio can reduce down to 90% straight in a day or two. That is one of the disadvantages of actually crypto coin. So but what advice I generally give to people who ask me that where they should do trading or invest, the way we do it in the share market, it is the similar stuff. So if you look at, I personally do not touch any share which is beyond the Nifty 50. Okay, and on an intraday also, we basically try to have some strategies of stock selection, but most of the time it is the top 20 Nifty 50 stocks that I trade in an intraday if I have to. Okay, the same concept goes in Bitcoin also. If you are an intraday player, you need to play on the top 5 coins, or probably top 10. Maximum you can go up to top 10. So consider it as like crypto top 10. And that is where you should do your day trading if you want to. If you want to do an investment, of course, investment is a different ball game. Where like stock market, you need to have a research that which is going to be accepted by the community. What are the things which are important if you want to, for example, there is a coin which is newly listed, right? This one. Okay, for example, these three as newly listed. How do you decide basically to how much of money you want to put in, and why you want to put in here, not here? Okay, so the answer is very simple. Like a share market research people do on balance sheet, ROE, ROS, and all those stuff, right? To identify the fundamental strength of a stock. Similarly, you should do a research on the cryptocurrency strength. What is the cryptocurrency strength? Okay, first of all, few of the things that you need to keep in mind. Who are the founder of the project? Okay, who are the founder of the project? Are they worth enough? See, while I was typing this, you guys didn't see this. I talked that in cryptocurrency, there cannot be any scam that can happen because you cannot alter the blockchain. Okay, but cryptocurrency may scam happens. There are scams that are happens in crypto, and I probably can give you a YouTube link at a later stage. There is a lady who is basically a very, very good lady, a very renowned, great lady from MIT, PhD, and all those stuff, has a very great reputation in the crypto market. She created a coin and she did a scam of $60 billion worth. Okay, that means people money there, put money there. She sold everything, burned the entire project, and went away. Okay, so everybody's money is gone and nobody can track it. In a crypto world, you cannot track it. It will come to there. In crypto, the advantage is, okay, I mean, there will come to centralized and decentralized where KYC happen, but theoretically, you can't track people. Okay, what is the identity here in a crypto world? What is the identity? It's just an address. Okay, it's just an address. It's an hexadecimal. Okay, hexadecimal, I think 32 or 64 digits. I need to check. Okay, people who know engineering, they will get it. So it's just an address. That is your identity in the crypto world. Okay, there is nothing else. If you want to basically go ahead and do it. So for example, terrorist mafias and everything can use crypto onto their advantage. So if crypto has to be accepted in the entire world, then it has to go via the country's acceptance. Where countries like for our country, RBI, right? For example, if he says, for example, in CoinD6 and all those, you have to do even Bajirex, you have to do a KYC first, even to start trading, right? There. So that can be done by a country's financial regulatories, not blockchain as a system. Blockchain as a system is open like internet. Anybody come in, anybody can go out. Okay. So in a internet, what is your identity? In a internet, your identity is an IP address. Simple. Hmm. Now somebody can say that email is also an identity, sir. Yes, email is an identity, but unless you have a Gmail or a Yahoo, then it doesn't satisfy as an identity. Can I use internet without Gmail and Yahoo email ID? Of course. Okay, but if I want to do some great business on internet, then I need a Gmail address or a Yahoo address on an email ID where people can talk to me. The same concept here. Can I do transactions in crypto? I mean in blockchain ecosystem? Yes, with just an address. But can I do reasonable business there using everything? Probably not. Okay, you might not do great businesses there. So that is what we meant, that crypto doesn't need an identity to be there and do stuff. Okay, anyway, coming to finding the strength of a cryptocurrency, crypto coin, for example, who is the founder of the project? The way I look at it, okay, point number one, who is the founder of the project? Okay, but this can be also dicey in nature. That is why I have given you an example of this crypto scam. Okay, $16 billion one. The second thing is basically which sector they are building the community. Okay, for example, we talked about Decentraland, right? The Mana crypto coin. So these guys are building using this crypto coin for transactions for Web 3. Okay, Web 3.0. What is Web 3.0? It is basically the virtual world of internet. Okay, which Facebook is coming with of its Meta project. Okay, that means everything would be in virtual. Okay, now how people make money in a virtual world? It is very simple. So if I build, it's like gaming in nature. So if I basically, people right now go ahead and buy virtual land also, right? Okay, so the supply would be limited anyway, of course, theoretically. uh, but practically you can have unlimited lands. It depends upon the project, how much of land you want to release. But let's say, for example, I have created a project where I have created 5 countries. Okay, let's say Paris, okay, India, okay, Australia. Let's say take 3 example, and these are the 3 lands that I'm selling. Now, how do you make money by buying virtual land of worth million of dollars? People are buying this. Now, for example, if you have a Paris world, if you guys have played games where people buy a city, build the city, and all those, right? Then how do they make money? It is all about content. The more content you create on this land, the more people are going to visit. The more people are going to visit, the more ad you can push through to people. Okay, in terms of cross selling. So the more ad you push through it, it is basically ultimately where the user is spending their time, right? Why Facebook is not getting that much of revenue, but Insta is getting, or YouTube is getting more, because users are spending more time here compared to Facebook. As simple as that. So the same concept is here. Okay, so Web 3.0, so for example, Decentraland is actually created this coin for enabling Web 3.0 transactions. Okay, do you think that Web 3.0 is a big thing which is going to change the world in next 10 years? That depends upon your research. If you think that it is going to happen, then put your money in Mana, right? So that is why it is very important to identify which sector they are building and how it is being accepted by the community. Okay, for example, I'll take one more example, like Shiba Inu. I have invested in both the coins, of course. But Shiba Inu, there are some payments which have happened where basically people have bought burgers. Okay, they have bought burgers by using Shiba Inu coin. That means somebody is ready to accept that coin and somebody is ready to give it. So this is all about community. Once the community becomes bigger, the more the community becomes bigger, the value of the crypto coin is going to be bigger. And that is why I said, whenever you are choosing a coin, the, of course, founders, project sectors you need to choose, you also need to look at the market cap. Price doesn't pay attention. I never pay attention to price of Bitcoin. So you don't know where is XRP. See, XRP is at 1.09 right now. Bitcoin is at $58,000. It's a huge difference, hell and heaven difference between these two prices. But I bet on XRP right now. I have bought some coins because the way XRP works and the way Bitcoin works, they're a little bit different. In future, if the entire financial system has to be decentralized. So there is a concept called DeFi also. You should go ahead and search it all. Otherwise, I'll anyway build content around that. This is called DeFi. DeFi is about decentralized financing system. Currently, banks are what? Banks are centralized financing institutions of countries. DeFi में there is no centralized institution per country, per continent, or per city, state, or a owner and all those. DeFi is entirely denormalized, okay, entirely decentralized, and that happens because of the blockchain. Okay, now coming to here, if you want to enable a worldwide decentralized finance system, the base on which you want to work, there are a couple of bases on which the banks can work. One is Ethereum, one is XRP, then third is Ripple. Ripple is a derived version of Ethereum, of course, but that's not doing well. But you need to monitor the news a little bit, that how XRP is being accepted by a lot of banks. Currently, a lot of banks have actually invested in the technology. Okay, whether they are buying the coin or not, that doesn't matter. But are they going to build a technology on top of XRP technology where basically they can enable transactions? If that is thing you think is going to be bigger, then I would say that basically buy an XRP coin. So I would recommend. I mean, I somehow think, it's my personal view, I might go wrong. You might see XRP not right now, probably after 5 years on second position, or you never know, probably on the first position, because the way this world is moving and the banks are accepting XRP, you might see it into a second position there. So that's why I said price is not important. You're betting it on basically the community that is going to accept this based on its underground technology, how many people are accepting it, and basically the volume. Volume will basically show you the interest, the how many people are showing interest here actually. Okay, how much worth of volume is getting traded every day. So if you see it is continuous in nature, then it is ideally a stable coin. Okay, right? So these are the few things. I think Nalini, why you sorry, Gutua, you have asked that how you are going to basically choose the coins where you want to basically invest. So these are the 3-4 parameters based on which I choose my coins where to invest, and I generally take it on a longer term. Okay. Now I don't know how many people know Polkadot. We'll come to there. Polkadot, what is it is being used for? Because there are many things for many system where basically ideally we have different kind of coins, and here you can see all this stuff, right? Categories, DeFi I've just talked about. So if you want to know what are the coins which are basically working in the DeFi area, enabling the banking and financial institution to build a decentralized financing system across the world. So these are the coins which are enabling them. One of the very important, I mean very renowned, is Uniswap. Okay, Uniswap is very renowned. I do some swapping there. We'll come to what swapping is. Then I do some pancake swapping also. I do flash loan on Aave. Flash loan is a very concept. Remind me, I'll explain you what is this. Your mind probably can get blown what you can do with a flash loan. Okay. So flash loan enabling is happened in Aave. So loan, basically, if you look at a loan, if somebody wants to give me a loan and I want to take a loan, this generally happens by a bank right now. Okay. Right. And I think this coin can probably go ahead and disrupt the loan ecosystem in the entire world if it is accepted by the community really well, and the price is only $278. Okay, I'll come to flash loan, how flash loan happens, right? So these are the coins who are actually might disrupt the current financial activities in terms of making it decentralized. What are the current financing activities that happens by financial institutions? Can anybody name? Otherwise, I'll quickly type. Many things happens. One is depository services. Okay, depository services is what? You put some money. You put some money in the bank. Okay, and bank returns you interest. Here, this is one of the activities that the bank carries. What are the other things that they do? Insurance. Okay, they will give insurance, life insurance, motor insurance, blah blah insurance. What else they ask? Foreign exchange. Correct. That means you want to convert your INR to dollar. Okay, USD. or you want to convert your USD to dollar. What is this concept called? It is called foreign exchange in traditional ecosystem. In a crypto world, what it is? It is called swap, and this is what the coin is doing, Uniswap. Okay, and then you have something called pancake swap. Okay, what you do here, you swap your currencies, USD to INR, New Zealand dollar to Australian dollars. Okay, United Kingdom pound to USD, whatever. What are the other activities that they do? Loan, right? They give loans, right? So they give loans, and in the loans there are two categories in the which is right now available in crypto world, which is not so famous in the current physical world. How there are loans happen in the current ecosystem? One is happens via cheat funds. Okay, okay, which is basically a part of microfinance. You say microfinance. Okay. Second is via institutions, banks. Okay, right? इस चिट फंड को हटा देते हैं, कंफ्यूज हो जाएगा. इट इज पार्ट ऑफ माइक्रो फाइनेंस. माइक्रो फाइनेंस में हम क्या करते हैं? मतलब इफ योर पेरेंट्स और ग्रैंड पेरेंट्स आर जमींदार्स ऑफ एनी एरिया लकीली, सो हाउ डू साहूकार्स जो लोन्स देते हैं, राइट? दे गिव द लोन and they collect the loan to people. So it is one-to-one transaction. They are not institutions. It's just written on the pen and paper or Excel sheet right now, probably, right? This microfinance concept, when you bring it into the crypto world, it becomes P2P. This is called peer-to-peer, the actual definition. That means a sahukar is giving a loan to a farmer in a village, and the farmer is returning back the money with interest. This is peer-to-peer, one-to-one. That's a microfinance concept, of course. But if you bring it to the crypto world, it's called P2P loans, right? Okay. Institutions, yeah, people are still coming. Okay. And institutions may how the loans ideally happens. Okay. Institution में bank basically will give you loan. They will take some collateral. Okay. Collateral में क्या क्या लेगा? कुछ भी ले सकता है. मतलब if you have house, you give a house. If you have bonds, if you give bonds, you can put your car, you can put your LIC policy amount, matured, whatever mature amount it is. On this basis, you can take a loan, right? As a collateral, right? In a crypto world also, you can do it by a collateral. What are the collateral? Simple. The collateral is the cryptos that you are holding. Okay, that you are holding. Okay, cryptos that you are holding, you can put it as collateral and basically take a loan. Okay, do leverages work in crypto world? Yes. Do futures work? I mean, trading. Coming to trading, do there is a concept of future trading in crypto? Okay, answer is yes. Do is there an option trading in crypto? Answer is no. There is no option trading. Some exchange may introduce at a later stage, but I have not seen option trading by any exchanges right now. Okay, but future trading is available. The first future trading, if I'm not wrong, which is widely accepted by any exchange, I mean created by an exchange and accepted by people, who was FTX, even before Binance, I think. Okay, FTX is a Stanford founded. The guy was in Stanford. He founded this. He's I think currently 29 years of old, but probably the net worth is more than $25 billion. Okay, and that too in just 3 years. He built it in 3 years. Okay, Hong Kong based. I think he moved out of US and built it from Hong Kong. But anyway, he is the first guy who introduced the future trading concept in crypto. Okay, that means your underlying asset. I hope everybody understands future trading. Future trading में क्या होता है? It is a game. What is the price of the value which will happen, which may reach, or it may go up or go down after 1 month, right? That's a betting that you do. Same here. Okay, you say that Bitcoin ka price in next 1 month, for example, listen, Avalanche ka price in next 1 month will go to $130. That's the future trading. Okay, underlying asset in the future trading would be the coin ka actual value. Okay, but future trading is available. Option trading is not available in the crypto world. And all these things you can do on the platforms like FTS, Binance, and Big One, which are basically renowned platforms. Okay, till now we are good, right?
Yes, sir.
Everybody is getting what I'm saying, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, cool. Now there are few other things that happens. If you see in the categories here, we talked about DeFi. There are NFTs, there is Metaverse, there is Polkadot, and all that. And then than the individual ones. So we'll just talk about what is NFT and what is metaverse. Okay, before we go anywhere else in terms of categories. NFT में क्या होता है? Now you can see Decentraland mana in NFT. Okay, what NFT does is basically non-fungible. The full form of NFT is actually ideally called non-fungible tokens. Okay, non-fungible tokens. What is the meaning of it? That means once, I'll give you an example. So for example, there is a jacket that you are buying from Adidas, let's say. Okay, you have bought a jacket, Adidas limited edition. Okay, limited edition, only 10 copies. Only 10 copies basically were built for that jacket. Even you can take an example of Tesla. So Tesla, like a year back or 100 year back, I don't know the number, but probably 100 or 1,000 bottles of whiskeys. Okay, bottles of whiskeys built limited edition. Limited edition means you don't build it again. So 1,000 bottles are built. Those 1,000 bottles now become antique pieces. Okay, because Tesla is never going to build whiskey again. They are building cars. Okay, and they sell it basically at a larger prices. So if, for example, if you get a best whiskey, let's say in 20,000 rupees, okay, 20k rupees in market, whatever the best is, you can price because this is a limited edition. It is being created by Tesla. It is my own choice कि मैं इसका price कितना रखूंगा, how much I am going to put it. So instead of 20,000, let's say I put one bottle का cost is 1 lakh. Okay. Since it is a limited edition, people pay value to it, and you probably know the concept of antiques and all those. The more older it gets, people basically buy the antique pieces at a higher prices. Okay. Now this Tesla ka 1 lakh of bottle, which is right now, let's say 1 lakh rupees. After 5 years, you don't know, somebody will buy it in 20 lakh rupees. Okay, that might be possible. Why this is possible? Because this is non-fungible in nature. Non-fungible को अगर layman के term में बोलूँ मैं, they are limited edition which will never be created again, and that's why the value is more. Okay, now can somebody duplicate these 1,000 bottles of Tesla? Of course. चाइना में भेज दो, 1,000 के जगह 10,000 bottles of whiskey बना देंगे टेस्ला का, and they will put it into the market in 20 lakh rupees and they will make money. It is possible. In a physical world, it is possible. In a crypto world, this is not possible. Okay, in the crypto world, it's not possible. Why? I already explained you why it is not possible, because you cannot alter the previous transactions. If you're going to alter the previous transaction, the entire blockchain breaks. So nobody who is going to alter the previous transaction. That means 1,000 bottles of Tesla, if Tesla, whenever they created, if they put these 1,000 bottles ka transaction details into a blockchain 2 years back, nobody is going to change after that the moment it gets created. That means if you are buying a Tesla ka bottle from somebody at 20 lakh rupees, how you are going to identify whether it is the right item or it is a duplicate item? Simple. You go to the blockchain, verify that transaction on that date. If you find that transaction, I mean, with a barcode or whatever attached to it, giving an example, then you are very, very confident that, okay, yeah, this is the one I'm buying the right pieces of it, right? And there are various things that you can do NFT. In NFT में क्या कर सकते हो? You can create your digital art, okay, anything, digital art. For example, Salman Khan can basically say कि मेरा मूवी में जो डायलॉग है, वट एवर द वीडियो, लेट्स से मैंने प्यार किया में डायलॉग एक, ओके, मैंने प्यार किया में एक डायलॉग है विच आई वांट टू क्रिएट एन एनएफटी. Okay, let's say he can create an NFT out of that. For example, let's say how many heroines people like, let's say example लेते हैं उर्वशी रौतेला का, right, and the most beautiful lady, वो बोलती है कि I have a dress which I own, which I wore basically during the Miss whatever contest, and I want to create an NFT out of that. Okay, she can create an NFT out of that. It can basically can be sold to people. People can buy at their own prices. NFT is a huge world. Ideally, you can create anything and you can sell anything. The concept is again very simple. It has to be accepted by the community. So whatever you are creating has to have a value. If it has to accepted by the community, anybody can pay any amount. Okay, I can pay 70 lakhs, 1 crore just for a dress. Okay, so this NFT, there are platforms to create NFTs also. Currently, if you look at most of the NFTs are created as digital arts. most, because it's easy to create, it's easy to sell. Okay, but you can create everything. For example, any band, okay, music band, a music band can go ahead and basically create an NFT of a particular let's say tune of theirs, right? All this possible. We were there in the jacket wall example, huh? Because this Adidas, let's say these 10 copies were built. Okay, how people create NFTs currently, jacket का example अगर लोगे, how people would create Adidas का जो होगा उसमें you will have a chip, you will have a chip in the jacket, okay, which will have a dash which will make it unique. Can anybody answer what you are going to fill in the dash? What you can put in the jacket so that it makes it uniquely identifiable in the blockchain, in the entire ecosystem forever? Can anybody just guess? Put it in the chat window. What I can put in a jacket so that I can identify it?
It's kind of a barcode kind, right?
Yeah, the answer, yeah, it's kind of that, but the answer I have already given in the beginning.
Yeah,
What
numeric code, yeah. Or public key.
this one? Yep. Okay.
Mm.
I have an address. Okay. So for example, what is the identity of somebody in a blockchain? It's a hexadecimal address, right? Okay. So if I can put that address into that chip in the jacket and I attach to in the pocket, simple, your NFT is created. Okay. And if it is a limited edition by a branded company, you go ahead and sell it. Okay. So that is the concept of NFT mode. I mean, I can make a 2-hour session on NFT itself, but I'm just doing this in this video just to make you know that as a beginner, what are the concepts you need to know. That's it. Okay. Right. Metaverse, we have discussed a little bit in the group. We'll come to that in a later stage. Metaverse is basically which is enable the coins which are enabling the Wave 3.0 version. Wave 3.0 version is nothing but the virtual, where people are creating virtual world. Okay. Now, virtual world, mean there are many things that can happen. One example, we talk about land, right? In the virtual world, which is the very by default one. People will go buy a land and build something on top of that, right? Can you do something else in the virtual land? Of course, right? It will be, of course, equivalent to physical assets like virtual offices, okay, virtual houses, societies, okay, right? And if you look at everything is actually related to community and all those, right? So whoever the coin which is actually making them enable to do the transaction and make revenue out of it, so they will basically be where we are going to put it. Amara where we have put it here, Decentraland, right? So there are many coins are here. Okay, there are many. So what you need to do is look at that how many is being accepted by the community. Okay, right? So that is on a high, very high level related to coins. Okay, the type of considering type of sectors in which each and every coin actually works. Now the question is which coin we need to choose. That I have already answered how you are going to choose. Now the question can come how you are going to buy the coins, right? If you have chosen the coin, how to buy, hold, and trade. Okay. So all these things, buying, holding, and trading, where it will happen if you look at it, has to happen in an exchange. Okay. It has to happen in an exchange. Now there are two types of exchanges that exist in the crypto world. One is centralized and one is decentralized. Okay. The difference between these two is ideally mota mota. You will find it in Google also if you go. The centralized are basically they hold the coins. Okay, they hold the coins. In decentralized, you are holding the coin. Okay, that's the mota mota main bada difference. And there are many things, security and other things are there. Centralized may, since you are not holding the coins, you are not controlling the price of the price. That means, let's say I have a centralized exchange where even if I have million people there, they might not be able to control the price ideally, unless because they are not owning it. Now, when they are not owning it, what are the risks? I can shut down the entire exchange in 1 second. I'll just destroy the entire exchange, take all the coin and put it somewhere else. Okay. So that's the biggest risk in centralized exchange. Decentralized means since you are owning your own coins, okay, then basically you have the control. Okay. So hacking cannot happen in decentralized exchanges. Okay. It cannot happen. So these are the mota two stuff. Okay. In a decentralized way, how it happens basically, since you are owning the coin, you have the ability to ideally basically give it to somebody or not. Okay. Right. And that is where the concept of liquidity comes into picture. Okay. लिक्विडिटी में क्या होता है, which one you think would be more liquid, a centralized exchange or a decentralized exchange? Anybody? I hope you understand the concept of liquidity, right? Liquidity, correct. Centralized would be the most more liquid. That is why, yes, correct, centralized would be more liquid, decentralized would be less ideally, and that is the reason you see the concept of basically staking. Okay, staking, somebody was asking me yield farming, right? Yield farming, I talked about flash loans, okay, uh, and all those stuff. So what happens, and swapping also, yeah. What these concepts do in a crypto world, what they do is basically they provide liquidity mostly here in the yield farming stuff. Yield farming में क्या होता है? Yield farming is not, it's a very simple concept. Yield farming is you put your coin, okay, in an exchange pool and get return, interest मिलता है. So जो 12% APR, 300% APR, whatever you see, those are nothing but your yield farming. Okay, this is annualized. Okay, annualized return. So many coins will give you those kind of returns. Which coin is giving what kind of return, that depends really on you, your luck, how you are choosing the coin. But why companies are giving this return? Okay, why companies are giving this return to people? Companies are giving this return to people because they want to increase the liquidity. Why they want to increase the liquidity? When the liquidity increases, more trading happens. Okay, more trading happens. The more trading happens, the more commission they earn. Simple. Okay, that is the reason basically they ask people to provide liquidity into the pool. Okay. Now yield farming के ऊपर I'll make a detailed video, of course, at a later stage. Uh, I'm just throwing you words, okay, so that you understand. It doesn't become jargon to you whenever somebody is talking about these words to you. Okay, that's the main idea of this video, this session. Now, what are the things people use for yield farming, flash loans and swapping? Flash loan I have already told you about Aave. I'll explain you the concept of flash loan. You can actually do flash loan in Aave. Every platform doesn't provide flash loan capability. Okay. Yes, coming to there. So uh, start करते swapping में you have two platforms where you can do is I generally do. One is basically which we saw here in the main one. One is basically Uniswap. Okay, this is the platform you can do for swapping, and PancakeSwap. Okay, I use PancakeSwap mostly because it is much cheaper now compared to Uniswap. Somebody was talking about brokerages and all those, right? So that will come via experience. So for example, in our stock market, we'll say Asta charges more, Zerodha charges less. Okay, so there is no rocket science or there is no mathematical formula to identify which broker charges less or more. You have to go and look at in their site who is charging less and more. Okay, so Uniswap fees are a little bit higher. PancakeSwap fees are a little bit lesser. Okay, then Coinbase, which is probably one of the world's largest exchanges in the world in United States. It's like $100 billion plus worth company right now. So they also have, but I think their prices are also a little bit high. If you ask my choice, if you want to do coin swapping, do it on PancakeSwap. Okay, what is swapping? Swapping I already exchanged, like foreign exchanges. So you exchange between USDT to Bitcoin, Bitcoin to BNB, and all those stuff. And why people need that? Why? First of all, why swapping is required? Okay, swapping is required if you want to buy, because every coin that you see here, let's say, okay, for example, I want to buy Avalanche. Okay, every coin in a crypto world trades in pairs. Okay, so the trading always happens in pairs. Trading happens in pairs only. Okay? Can I? People can ask question. Can I buy crypto? Buy a fiat currency. I mean, fiat currency is okay. This is again a term. uh, because these are the terms being used in the crypto world. Fiat currency is nothing but hard cash. Okay, you can consider it like that. Hard cash मतलब कहाँ से ले सकते हो? बैंक अकाउंट. You transfer from your, जैसे जीरोधा में we do, right? बैंक अकाउंट से मनी ट्रांसफर कर दिया, क्रेडिट कार्ड से कर दिया. जीरोधा तो क्रेडिट कार्ड अलाउ नहीं करता, डेबिट कार्ड से कर दिया. ओके, यूपीआई से कर दिया. ओके, अल्टीमेटली इट इज द कंट्रीज करेंसी. इंडिया आईएनआर हो गया. INR, USD, New Zealand dollars, pound, these are called fiat currencies. Okay. Can I use fiat currencies buying crypto? The question is, it depends. Okay. On what it depends? It depends by the rule of the country. Okay. Does India allow buying cryptocurrency with fiat currency? No. Okay. That is the reason if you exchange, go to Binance, uh, which I use more, you cannot use a credit card or a debit card or a bank account basically transfer money to Binance directly. It's not possible. Okay. So then people come to P2P. So basically you trade your pairs with somebody else and get the money, and not the money, you get the cryptocurrency and then you trade. So that means, hope this is clear. Okay. If you're not clear, you can stop me and ask question. So fiat currency to putting fiat currency and buying a cryptocurrency, it's not it's possible, but it depends upon the country's rule. Okay. Now people can ask question that how Indian companies like CoinDCX and all those are doing. Okay. What they do is they take fiat currency. I mean, only Indian companies are allowed by rule right now. So CoinDCX can take fiat currency. Okay. And you can buy the cryptocurrency on top of that. Okay, money and deposit. And why Indian government is allowing that? Because you have done KYC. If KYC is not done, at least withdrawal तो नहीं होगा. They still may allow for you deposit for Indian companies. Withdrawal तो करने नहीं देंगे आपको. ठीक है. So that means KYC is mandatory. So KYC is RBI regulated. Once you have done your KYC, RBI is regulating your money flow anyway. What's going out of your bank account, because KYC में PAN जाएगा आपका. PAN is directly linked to your bank account and all those. Okay. So any money flow is happening, the income tax department will be able to know how much of money has gone, how much of money has come in. Okay. And that is how they are controlling by regulation in Indian companies, CoinDCX and all this. Can I do it directly on like something like Coinbase Pro and all those stuff? From not. Binance, no. Binance doesn't allow you. They will very clearly say that this facility is not available in your country. Okay. Anyway, coming to our initial discussion. Trading, we are saying that trading happens in pairs. That means if I want to buy a Bitcoin, right? One Bitcoin, let's say I want to buy. Okay. How do you buy? Generally, you will have pairs like BTC USDT, okay, BTC BNB, okay, and BTC, let's say ETH, for example. That means either you should have a USDT on your account so that you can buy BTC, or you should have a Binance money in your account, crypto money in your account, so that you can buy BTC. It's same. So that means you need to have some crypto money, okay, ideally, to buy the other crypto. Now this is a chicken egg problem, right? Ideally, this is a chicken egg problem. Now, how people initially started all this trading, then people might have that question in mind. That starting of the trading happened through mining, okay, because people got their initial Bitcoin values via mining or solving the puzzles in the internet. Okay, mining say. Now now the tradings are happening via fiat currency, because now the trading ecosystem has gone a little bit. Can I still go ahead and get free Bitcoin, free ETH from internet? Of course, you have to do mining for that. Okay, and mining is a very different concept. We will cover it at a later stage. Few people might know it, but you can get free coins. You don't need to use fiat currency to buy coins. Okay. Okay. Now coming to coming to here. So whenever you have pairs, now you have an exchange. For example, you have an exchange which have only eligible this pair, but this pair is not eligible. Okay. But they have a pair called BNB to USDT. This pair is available. So in one exchange, this pair is available. The other exchange, this pair is available. Okay. But you want to do this, let's say, from this exchange. How do you do it? There is no point but doing swapping. बीएनबी के यूएसडीटी कन्वर्ट करो, यूएसडीटी अपने एड्रेस में ट्रांसफर करो दूसरे एक्सचेंज में, वो यूएसडीटी से बीटीसी बाय करो, बाय बीटीसी. And that is why the concept of swapping is so powerful and needed in the current ecosystem. Okay. Now coming to the swapping fees. Swapping fees depends upon, as I said, brokerage, company to company. Okay. That you need to look at yourself. But ideally, current few of the companies, swapping mein there is a zero fee. We call it gas fee. So anything you are buying. So if you're doing a trading, let's say in crypto, if you're doing a trading in crypto, there is a charge you pay. Okay, charge you pay. Why you are paying the charges? Okay, crypto, because it's a free world. Why you are paying the charges? The charges you are paying to carry out the transaction. Oh, okay. And why there is a heavy fee? There are heavy fees depending upon the currency that you are, sorry, cryptocurrency that you are trading. Okay, BTC is the most expensive one. That's why I don't like trading in BTC. Okay, it's the most expensive gas fees. Okay, then you have ETH. Okay, XRP was built on top of ETH kind of technology, but the gas fee is lower. Okay. How do a system, a blockchain system, decides that how much of percentage of gas fee that I would take in a transaction? It is simple. It is the complexity of carrying out the transaction. Okay, is the complexity of carrying out the transaction. That means in a Bitcoin, what is the average time it takes to carry out a transaction? I think it's 15 to 20 minutes. Okay? If you want to do it on a Bitcoin blockchain, really. But you might ask question, Binance में तो हम Bitcoin फटाफट buy sell करते हैं. It happens in seconds. That is not actually doing the Bitcoin on the mining conveyor. You are doing it trader to trader. Okay, somebody is selling it, you are buying it. You are selling it, somebody is buying it. It's like any financial transaction. Okay, it's ideally not a mining transaction. Okay, mining transaction should be 15 to 20 minutes in Bitcoin. ETH I don't know, but probably it is less than 2 minutes or 3 minutes. Okay, XRP is trying to do it below that, and that is why the banks are moving towards XRP rather than betting on BTC or ETH directly. Okay, and that is why you need the gas fees, because the amount of computer CPU cycles, energy, electricity that you require to carry out that transaction, somebody has to pay for that, right? Nothing is free in this world. So that is what the percentage it takes the blockchain. Okay, now on top of it, okay, there is commissions and all those, because you are using a platform. For example, you are using Robinhood, okay, let's say, or you are using Coinbase, whatever, because they are the platform like Zerodha or Asta or something like that. They will add their commission on top of that, and ultimately you see a final price. Okay, ultimately you see a final price, which is basically some percentage of your trading amount. Okay, right? But anyway, I'm swapping से trading तक आ गए. So swapping is generally being used for this kind of purpose. I have given the example why we need actually swapping. Okay, most of the swapping, because swapping generally happens between your inside your own wallet. Most of the companies, they do charge zero gas fee for swapping. Okay, some people may charge some fee, but most of the companies should charge you zero gas fee. Now see the power of example in swapping and the transaction that we talked about in foreign exchange. Foreign exchange may, can you swap the currencies without any transaction fees? Highly impossible. That is probably the highest money people get during foreign exchange swapping, right? Dollar to INR, INR to dollar and all those. But in cryptocurrency, the swapping is zero fee, zero. Okay, and these are the some of the advantages for which people might the community might probably accept the cryptocurrency in future to do their day-to-day transaction. Okay, yield farming I have already explained. Yield farming where there are various companies. We have an Indian company called Vault also, if I'm not wrong. So VAULD, there is something called, yeah, so there is a company called Vault. Okay, you can go ahead and do it here. Okay, even PancakeSwap does it. Okay, there is a company called Mudrex. This is from one of my close friend from IIT Bombay. Mudrex mein is basically, of course, you can do everything that you can do in a crypto world with other platforms. But one of the good thing that this guy has done, he has given you an auto algo in, yeah, this algo. Generally, in platforms like Coinbase, even bigger ones, right? Or a Uniswap or a PancakeSwap or any other platform that you take, algo I have not seen anywhere in the platforms. Okay, which the way Mudrex gives, and Mudrex is an Indian company. Okay, you can just check it out. I'm not like doing promotion here because he's my friend,
That
but
is exactly
yeah.
what this do.
No, it does like any like it's a, if you say na, you can do trading, you can do investing. Okay, trading I don't think they have started yet, but you can do investing, and it will give you return percentages per annum kind of stuff. Okay,
Okay,
so
but we have to buy from them. Huh?
yeah, in on their platform. Okay, not
But
from them,
platform will
but on.
connect to the crypto. Huh?
Sorry.
No, that platform will connect it where to the crypto.
Yeah, it's like have its own decentralized exchange inside. Okay.
Okay, okay, okay.
Okay,
Okay.
so yeah, it will operate as a decentralized exchange there itself. So decentralized exchange mean you have buyers and seller, no community, right? Correct. And there are many other things that people can connect to. I'm really don't know how many because if I have right, for example, see if you can see this is a tool I use for building my own platforms. So I'm building my own decentralized exchange. So let's see. But if you see here, these are all these exchanges you see. Some of them are centralized, some of them are decentralized. Okay, right? It really depends. So let's say if I have to build my own platform like Mudrex, I can go ahead and connect to Binance also. So what I'm saying is that the user I'm bringing on my platform, but my users data I'm giving to Binance, and Binance is basically is the highest liquidity provider. I carry out my transaction in Binance and get it back to Mudrex. Okay, so that also you can do, right? So there are many like Bitfinex, few people might have heard, Bitflyer. These are many, like there are probably 200 300 plus exchanges in this world. Okay, so yeah, but you have to carry out the transaction in Mudrex platform to get the benefit of your returns. Okay, so Vault is one of them. Mudrex is one of them. Even PancakeSwap also uh, basically give you some rate, and that rate basically that is what we call staking and it. So staking is basically the input, and yield farming is basically is considered as the output. That means you stake your current currency that you are holding so that you can do some yield in terms of return. Okay, clear? Now the most important thing people might probably, I mean, eyebrows can be raised is called flash loans. Flash loans, very few platforms provide the concept of flash loans. Flash loans is basically loans happens within seconds. Okay, this is called flash. That is why the term called flash loans. Why? What happens? You borrow money from a liquidity pool and you send it back, let's say within a second. Okay? So you're taking money, you're returning back within a second, and you're paying interest. Now that becomes interesting, isn't it?
सर
Within a
जस्ट
second.
लाइक क्रेड ना क्रेड जैसे देता है
Not credit. Credit doesn't do a flash loan. Credit is like you pay your credit amount there and you get rewards, right?
सर
Uh,
लोन भी देता है ना अभी
that is like pay later loan, no?
हाँ हाँ ठीक है
So you pay now. So you take the money now and you can pay in EMIs for 3 months, right?
यस सर
Here, let's say you are taking $1,000 from the liquidity pool. After 1 second, you have to return, let's say $1,050. Let's say, okay, $50 आपको extra वापस करने हैं within 1 second or 3 second, 5 second, whatever, within a transaction. Let's define it like that, within a transaction. So the transaction is not completed unless you ideally give the money back to the liquidity pool. Okay, then where you are going to make money. So here you need a very highly advanced programmer, hacker, whatever you say, to make this money. How this happens? This is called arbitrage trading in crypto. People understand what is arbitrage trading is? Anybody doesn't know? Stock market में भी होता है ये. Okay, so everybody knows what is arbitrage trading. Arbitrage trading में क्या होता है? You buy, let's say, you buy an asset. मैंने इसका एग्जांपल दे देता हूँ. So let's say HDFC Bank. Okay. BSE and NSE. It is trading at both the exchanges. It is also trading is let's say New York Stock Exchange. Okay. I would buy HDFC Bank in NSE and sell in BSE. Okay. And whatever the difference between NSE price and BSE price, that is my profit. That is called arbitrage. One of the concept of arbitrage trading. How arbitrage trading happens in crypto? You borrow Bitcoin. Okay. Then you swap to BTC, I mean Ethereum. Okay. Sell Ethereum. Okay. Swap to BTC. Buy कर लेते हैं. Borrow की जगह buy कर लेते हैं. Buy. Swap to BTC and then sell BTC. The same liquidity pool. This is how the flash loan happens. Well, you buy Bitcoin, then you swap to ETC. So you are thinking that the Ethereum price is right right now going actually at a higher rate, for example. And this is where you need quantitative trading a little bit. So let's say BTC in last 1 hour, for example, is increasing at 1% increment. I'm just giving 0.01%. Ethereum is increased at 0.05%. Okay. So you think that if I'll take BTC, swap to ETH, okay, wait for let's say 3-4 seconds, sell ETH. So since ETH rate is higher than BTC, the growth rate is higher than BTC, you basically get the delta money, convert the ETH back to BTC, swap BTC, because this is zero fee ideally. This is zero fee. Okay. And then sell the BTC back to give it back to the liquidity pool. Or everything has to happen within 2-3 seconds max. Okay. Ultra fast flash loans. Can it go up to 1 minute as a transaction? Yes, it can. Can it go to 5 minutes? Can you hold it to 5 minutes? Yes, you can. Okay. It depends upon the platform. The only why people are allowing you to holding it up to 1 minute and 5 minutes, because your transaction is not completed unless you give it back. Okay. That means unless this last leg happens, okay, this buy of BTC doesn't happen in a flash loan platform. That means it doesn't come into wallet. See, you're buying BTC. If I today buy BTC, it will come to my wallet. Okay. In this flash loan concept, it will not come to wallet. Okay. It will hold it in an intermediary stage, probably in the exchange's own wallet. Until this transaction is completed, it's not basically being passed to your own wallet. So you ideally don't own any money. If this transaction fails anywhere, everything will be rolled back. Okay. That is how the flash loan happens. But anyway, you guys will not be able to do it. This is a very, very advanced concept, but you can search in Google. Well, I can show you something where you might be interesting. Okay. So flash loan money making. Yeah, see, this is the platform I said, Aave. Aave does it. This is an arbitrage trading. Now, I want to show you an article where people are making money actually. There is a hacker who was making like $3 lakh every month, which is around like 21 lakhs. No, 2.1 crore every month just with flash loans. Okay, but he's a hacker, of course. I don't know. Anyway, I'll give you that news. I'll type it out later. Okay, not an issue. So you can make those kind of money if you're really, really good at programming. Okay, but anyway, we're not talking about that. Okay. What else we need to discuss? Somebody asked about the platform. Ayushi, you have what are the decentralized exchanges in India? I think actually everything is decentralized in India only. India doesn't have a centralized exchange. I think. I don't think India have a centralized exchange. They are all decentralized. I mean, CoinDCX, Kuber Switch, WazirX, and couple of more, right? They are all decentralized. I mean, if they have a centralized feature right now, I don't know. I need to look at, but they should be all decentralized. Okay. आयुष जी ने काफी क्वेश्चन पूछा. So public, that is a little bit advanced concept. That how it happens here. We would look at public key and private key are part of the decentralized exchange, right? Public and private key is a concept. Ideally, in the somebody will hold your private key, right? Ideally, so the private key is generally being held by you, and the public key is being held by the third party. That is the main concept in crypto. Yeah, I'll do that uploading, of course. Okay, right. Starting में जो बंदे थे निकले, Balaji, you are there. Is some the basics that you are asking in the beginning? Uh, do you think that I have answered quite a bit? You have a little bit of understanding now. I'm not sure if he's there. Then is it risky to share your PC mobile to act as a server for mining? Is there any chance of hacking? No, there is no chance of hacking your stuff unless you are giving your keys to somebody else. You can use your own PC. The only problem is your current Windows machine and Mac machines may not be able to do mining. Even if they do mining, the money that you are going to get are very, very less. Probably, I don't know, 50 rupees, 60 rupees per day kind of stuff. That's what max you can do in a 16 GB kind of stuff, and with a good VGA card. Otherwise, it would be very, very difficult to make money. People generally built mining rigs to mine money. Okay. I think most of the cash to future, आयुष जी ने कुछ cash to future क्या question था आयुष जी? I didn't get that question. So no, Gopal bhai, to answer your question, what I have seen with Modi government is ideally they are anti the crypto world. And when actually I initially bought Bitcoin, when you remember when we were in IIM Ahmedabad, I told couple of people to buy Bitcoin, and I told that it will go up to 44 lakhs minimum, right? Correct. I don't know how many people remember that statement. I bought it when it was around 1 lakh or a little bit below 1 lakh. So each of my coin would have been 44 lakhs now. But government of India told uh, that Indian citizens cannot hold cryptocurrency. Okay. And every exchanges that I was trading during that time, like 4 years back, everybody actually, I have to withdraw. People forced the platforms forced us to withdraw. Okay. And I was trading in Jeppe, I think, during that time. Jeppe was an Indian company, but Singapore based. But currently, my suggestion, if you're asking the suggestion, what you should do, that is the reason I moved to Binance and all those which are not controlled by Indian companies. So the only problem there would be, how do you want to transfer the money to Binance and all those stuff, which you can do via P2P for sure, right? So hold your coins on an exchange which is non-Indian, okay, and keep it. Probably looking for a 5 years or 10 years of period. Keep it there. Even if the government law changes, even if they say Indian citizens cannot hold cryptocurrency, if you're not holding it an Indian based company, government cannot do anything. ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा ये होगा कि after 10 years, government doesn't basically, I mean, rule को ढीला नहीं करता है, then your currency would be still lying there. You will not be able to ever encash it. Okay.
But Debbie, one question in this Binance, mein when you are registering it, so they are asking for our details for verification.
Yeah, correct. No,
So,
that is they're doing just for the purpose of because they want Binance is actually one-to-one connected to WazirX.
correct. Yeah.
WazirX is the Indian company which was sold to Binance because of this Modi government decision during that time only. Okay, because WazirX was not able to operate, and since WazirX is basically needs a KYC, if you want to transfer the money from, let's say, fiat currency to cryptocurrency, you can do it from WazirX to Binance directly. You cannot do in Binance. You can basically create a WazirX account and deposit from your bank account, convert it to a crypto in WazirX, and then transfer it to Binance. That you can do.
But lekin there the fees are very high in
Yeah,
Wazir.
fees तो high high रहेगा.
I checked it, but
Yeah,
I feel that P2P is better in
P2P is better. See, P2P may, because you are dealing with directly the end user, right?
end
Okay.
user. Yeah.
So the fees are generally low. The only difference you will find that the same Bitcoin, somebody might be asking, let's say at 100 rupees, the other guy would be asking at a 90 rupees. Okay.
Yeah.
So you need to find the lowest rate and complete the transaction.
But
Okay.
one another question is, what you suggest that to buy it? See, what I seen is, yeah, P2P maybe the price is increasing. Is better to be buy it and keep it safe in our account. For example, let's say last week May I saw that 75 rupees or 74.
Correct.
Week when I check, it's all went to that 81 and 82.
Yeah. No, that really depends upon the market. No, it could have gone down also.
Why? So when it's went down, then we can buy and keep it. Huh?
Yeah, correct.
Mm.
Well, see, if you're holding your own wallet, no, okay.
Mm.
I mean, it is directly basically proportional. It's directly basically affected by the market. Okay. If you're holding it, let's say if you're holding one Bitcoin in your wallet, Binance wallet, if the price of the Bitcoin increases, it will increase. Your value will increase. If it decreases, it will decrease. Okay. Right.
Yeah.
I mean, how do you hold a P2P stuff? I don't know. Because if in your P2P transaction, if you're paying, let's say, 5,000 rupees to a guy, you would be buying something. No, you'll be buying a Bitcoin or let's say Shiba Inu or a Ethereum. Some cryptocurrency you would be buying, right?
Correct. Yeah.
And that will be get hold in your account anyway, right? Yeah, the one thing you can do, where you bought it, if the market price goes up, probably you may decide to sell it via P2P again.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay. But I would recommend, I mean, day trading is a simple thing. Yeah, that is what we left. If you want to do trading, day trading, guys, only do on the top 10 cryptocurrencies. Otherwise, volatility will not be able to handle. Okay. So if you are a day trader is not to make big money. It is to make consistent money, small. Okay. Day trading. That is what my funda, even in Bank Nifty and Nifty. And if you want to play big, do an investment and hold it. Bitcoin में छोटा मोटा भी अगर कर रहे हो तो ठीक है. There are many other concepts that we forgot right now coming to my mind, like ICOs, IDOs, and all the stuff that will probably try to cover, unless somebody wants to really dying to know all those concepts, because that might also take a little bit longer in time. And how somebody can create his own coin. Okay, that is also one concept probably we would cover in some time. And what are the advantages, disadvantages, what type of coin you should create, how to fund it. Okay, if somebody has created something like that, how you want to take the advantage of that. That is also one thing probably you guys would like to know. So you might cover it in another session or probably some other videos, upcoming videos.
Sure.
Anything you guys knew, got to know new? I know you might know a few of the things before. Anything you guys got to know new in this session, which you thought, "अरे ये तो सुना नहीं था."
Yeah, many things, right?
Many things. Okay, cool.
Mining and also that loan thing, swapping.
Yeah, correct. Okay, cool. Yeah, flash loan is crazy thing. I mean, I am trying to build something to do a flash loan, but as I said, it needs a little bit of intelligence on that side. I'm a good programmer anyway. I can write code myself, but yeah, let's see. जब करूंगा तो आप सबको दिखाऊंगा.
Hmm.
Yeah, Sarang bhai, yeah, you have one two basic question. Yeah, go ahead.
And Devi,
हेलो
can
सर.
you about that
हेलो
what
सर.
points you suggested at the starting? Yeah,
Yeah,
after answer to Sarang.
yeah, Sarang bhai, go ahead.
सर एक्चुअली जस्ट मुझे एक्चुअली इसके बारे में ज़्यादा कुछ पता नहीं है क्रिप्टो के बारे में.
Hmm.
लेकिन सर जैसे कि अभी सपोज 10 इयर्स पहले या 20 इयर्स पहले आपके पास अगर सपोज 100 रुपीज रहेंगे तो आज की डेट में भी उसकी वैल्यू 100 रुपीज ही है अपने रुपीज के इसमें. और अकॉर्डिंग टू कमोडिटीज की जो वैल्यू है वो चेंज होती रही. जैसे कि 10 साल पहले शायद शक्कर 15 रुपए किलो होगी, अभी 25 30 40 रुपए किलो चल रही है. तो
Correct,
अपने इंडियन जो है अपना रुपीस को उसकी वैल्यू तो उतनी रहती है सर.
correct.
तो ये क्रिप्टो के अंदर तो ऐसा हो जाता है कि जैसे आपने आज बिटकॉइन खरीदा, वो था 50 लाख का, कल चढ़ के हो गया 60 लाख का. तो
Correct.
सर इसको क्या मीनिंग रह गया ने, ये क्या एक्चुअली ने?
This is like a demand supply game actually, okay? And this will only settle down if the currency is being widely accepted by many people. आपने साथ स्टार्टिंग में ज्वाइन नहीं किया था.
यस सर, यस सर.
I actually gave you the concept of community acceptance, okay? And I have also given an example. आप वीडियो दोबारा देख लेना. I have given an example of how paper currency was probably accepted or there was reluctance 150 years back. The same thing is happening in cryptocurrency, okay? So it might take a little bit of time on that side, but cryptocurrency being accepted by the world, it would be a much better place compared to paper currency for sure, where the
सो वही पूछना चाहता हूँ सर, ये वर्ल्ड में क्यों ले रहे हैं ना एक्चुअली? अगर कुछ लोगों के पास है इसलिए वो उसको प्रमोट करके अननेसेसरी इसको इम्पोर्टेंस दे रहे हैं अननेसेसरी.
no,
क्योंकि वर्ल्ड में एक्सेप्ट करने की तो कोई उसकी आवश्यकता ही नहीं है ना बिल्कुल. जैसे अभी इंडियन इलेक्ट्रॉनिक डिजिटल फॉर्म में अगर चाहिए तो रुपीस को कन्वर्ट कर देगा ना गवर्नमेंट आपको. अब इलेक्ट्रॉनिक फॉर्म में उसकी नोट खत्म कर देगा और उसके जगह पे इलेक्ट्रॉनिक फॉर्म में दे देगा वो.
correct.
तो
No, yes, yeah,
तो
right.
इसका मतलब ऐसा तो नहीं होगा ना सर कि आपके पास अगर सपोज अपने सब पैसा अगर ले लिया मार्केट में तो फिर आप डिसाइड करोगे कि नहीं अभी मैं 100 रुपए लिया तो 100 रुपए भी 200 रुपए में बेचूंगा. तो दिस इज नॉट पॉसिबल ना. हाँ, आप ये बोल सकते कि भाई हाँ मेरे को अगर कोई कमोडिटी खरीदनी है तो कमोडिटी का रेट बढ़ जाएगा, कमोडिटी का रेट कम हो जाएगा. पर अपने यहाँ पे पैसों का वैल्यू कभी कम ज्यादा नहीं होता ना.
Correct.
वो एक्चुअली सर अपने यहाँ पे कुछ कॉइन्स रहते हैं, जैसे आरबीआई वगैरह भी कोई कॉइन निकालता है जैसे कोई स्पेशल डे के हिसाब से या फिर उसको निकालता है तो उसकी वैल्यू रहती है सर. एक्चुअली चेंज होते रहती है उसकी वैल्यू. उसका एक अलग से बुक भी आता है, इनका अलग से कुछ ट्रेडिंग भी चलते रहता है उस कॉइन्स के लिए. जैसे
yeah, वो मैंने इसमें समझा आपको ना, एनएफटी में, which is basically limited editions जो आते हैं.
हाँ वो कॉइन्स सर उसका ऐसा रहता है सर. 100 रुपीज का कॉइन आपको 1000 रुपए में मिलेगा, 1200 में मिलेगा. पर
ये मैंने पढ़ा है इधर, कंसेप्ट ये कवर किया मैंने. दैट इज द कॉन्सेप्ट इन क्रिप्टो करेंसी, इट कॉल एनएफटी, नॉन फंजिबल टोकन्स.
हाँ.
Okay. But yeah, to answer your question, no, yes, I mean there might be possibility that matlab every country might have their own coins, okay? It might be possible, which is okay. So the reason I'm saying why my statement was a digital currency is way better than paper currency, because in a digital currency doing a fraud is zero. Okay, so I don't mind India coming with its own coin, US coming its own coin, and people discarding Bitcoin. कि हम Bitcoin में trade नहीं करेंगे. Let's say US commits with their own coin, okay, and that becomes a trading platform. That is still preferable. But paper currency has to go. It has to be all digital currency actually.
ये सर पर अभी कैसे पता सर? हमने अभी डोजी है तो जिसने डोजी बनाया सपोज कॉइन तो वो तो ऐसा छाप के डाल देगा ना, उसको कहाँ रेगुलेशन है, उसको कहाँ कोई रिस्ट्रिक्शंस है आज की
नहीं,
डेट
छाप
में?
के नहीं डालेगा. आप थोड़ा लेट ज्वाइन किए. आई कवर्ड द सप्लाई. ये देखो, ये सप्लाई वाला कॉन्सेप्ट मैंने यहाँ पे कवर किया है.
और सर ये सब कॉइन्स जो है वो सब एक ही काम करते रहते हैं क्या? हर एक का कुछ वर्क प्रोफाइल, जैसे अपने यहाँ पे कंपनी एलएनटी है, रिलायंस है, ये सब अलग अलग काम करते रहते हैं और इनका अलग अलग.
वो भी कवर किया है सरन जी. आप क्वेश्चन पूछ रहे हो जो हमने कवर किया है. मैंने यहाँ पे लिखा है कि जो कॉइन्स है किस सेक्टर में काम कर रहे हैं, ओके? बिकॉज कॉइन्स आर आल्सो सेक्टर स्पेसिफिक. अब ये दोबारा वीडियो देख लीजिए तो समझ में आ जाएगा. हाँ, आई कवर्ड दिस ऑलरेडी.
आपको पर्सनली पूछूंगा सर बाद में.
हाँ, ठीक है, नो प्रॉब्लम.
ओके सर, थैंक यू सर, थैंक यू.
Yeah, Mohi, you are asking something, right?
Yeah, I'm asking.
You are asking about the coins that I.
Coins, yeah.
coils, right? Yeah. So not much. You don't put everything. See, if you ask my investments, my investments are on Bitcoin, Ethereum. I have Olympus, which is probably down somewhere. I have XRP.
Mhm.
I have Shiba Inu. I don't have Dogecoin. I have Shiba Inu and Olympus कहाँ दिख रहा है क्या? I have some Polygon. Okay, Polygon is an Indian one. This is an Indian Matic.
Okay.
Some, not much. And then I have Olympus क्यों नहीं दिख रहा है यहाँ पे? Okay, ठीक है. And on the other side, NFT में I have Decentraland. That you guys know anyway, right? So
Yeah, this is
yeah,
money.
yeah. I have Decentraland. I have Sandbox
Okay.
here. And I'm planning to go for Meta, but Meta is not listed. I mean, which exchange it is listed, I need to now find, because that looks pretty
I
interesting.
checked it, but that is, I don't think so. We will get that. They are
हाँ,
listed in different exchange.
correct.
वो access नहीं है हमको. Yeah,
Correct. So
mostly
these are the
Meta. Yeah, this metaverse. एक बार गाला भी देख लो ना. In
Meta.
metaverse. Can you check that Gala?
Yeah, Gala I know, but but I didn't invest it. Probably I can do some research on that. Gala I didn't do any investment. I'll look at that. As I said, I generally choose coins based on the community, the selection I already told, right? And where I think that they can disrupt the industry by bringing these coins into the transactional nature in that industry. Okay. So Wave 3.0 is, I mean, why I said Decentraland, because Wave 3.0 somehow I think is going to be really, really big.
Yeah.
Especially now Facebook coming in. Facebook also, if you look at the metaverse that is building, it's ideally Wave 3.0. Okay. So if Wave 3.0 is built by somebody like Facebook now coming full-fledged, I think this coin probably would go quite high. That is what my bet is. Ultimately it is a bet, of course. How good better you are, that only future will tell. Right? Yeah. Otherwise, I have only these 10, 12 coins on my portfolio. And meme coins may see, we didn't cover the meme coins also. So meme coins are generally purely for community building. It doesn't solve purpose of any industry specifically. Okay. So these are highly volatile stock like Shiba Inu and all those. I just bought it just for gambling. Meme coins may don't put much. I mean, I have a little bit bigger one. There are 3-4 people. It's a bigger portfolio in Shiba Inu.
But Shiba Inu, how you evaluated? Just a basic question. Because this only one guy created this, right?
Yeah.
So
now Shiba Inu is basically the acceptance by the community. So I did not buy Shiba Inu like a year back. I just bought it recently. अगर एक साल पहले लेता होगा ना, अभी मेरा 200 करोड़ बन जाते थे.
Yeah.
Easily, ठीक है. So I missed that, but I still think somehow it might still give me, if everything goes well, it still can give me 50-60 crores easily अगर बन जाता है तो. At least I'll wait for 2 years. We'll see. The reason I'm betting here is people are actually, the community is actually started accepting it. If you look at in the meme coin, in the meme coin, there are only 2 coins which are listed here. One is Doge, one is Shiba. Okay. And if you look at the volume interest here, it is probably 4 times, 5 times the volume interest that of Doge. Okay. And that is the reason. If you look at the number of people trading Shiba Inu, see, after Tether, it is Shiba Inu only volume, right? So probably by volume, if I look at, let's, Tether ही है ना, Tether, Bitcoin, yeah.
Shiba Inu लेने के लिए you have to take the SHIB, right?
Yeah, you have to take this. It is available in Binance, no?
It is available. I saw that.
It's available Binance. See, don't put it much. So if you're a big guy, you can still go ahead and put 5-6 lakhs. But if depending upon that, like so half a billion coin is around almost when we bought it, it was around 27-28 lakhs. Okay. And if you put 15,000 rupees right now in Shiba Inu, you can easily have, I think, 40 सॉरी 40 lakhs coin शिबा
Hmm.
इनू में. Okay,
Hmm.
15,000 डाल के रख दो.
Hmm.
That 15,000 might probably become 5 crores if you are lucky.
Hmm.
And this is pure gambling. Huh? Meme
It's
coin is
gambling,
pure
yeah.
gambling. Yeah. Meme coin में I don't bet. So like XRP, ETH, BTC, Mana, you can bet and keep it longer. Meme coin is pure luck. हो गया तो हो गया, नहीं तो छोड़ देने का. So don't put much money. फिर भी 15,000 में 40 लाख कॉइन सिवा का you can easily pick right now also.
Okay.
If you want to take a 10 years long horizon, if you want to build money for your kids, I will recommend buy XRP.
Exactly.
XRP and hold it for 10 years. Okay, this might be become the second highest coin probably after Bitcoin. That's what my research says. Okay, तो
Yeah.
XRP थोड़ा buy करके minimum 7 years तक just keep it.
Hmm. Okay. Yeah.
ठीक है. आयुष जी, you are trying to ask something.
And one other one. There is a company called Definity. Can you evaluate it from your side? मैं ये कंपनी को पहले से evaluate कर रहा हूँ. They are in a very good technology in the cloud side. It's a decentralized cloud.
Definity.
DFINITY.
अच्छा, okay.
Actually, this is Binance में नहीं है. So they.
हाँ. Then we look at, see, there are few things now which are not available in Binance. Like we did not discuss the concept of IDOs, ICOs, and IOs, right? There are few things you can buy actually in the IDOs, which are not in Binance, but there are other platforms like Polkadot and all those stuff, where basically when the coin is supposed to be launched, you can buy it pre. ये समझ लो कि IPO है, क्रिप्टो का IPO टाइप है, ठीक है? And it generally gives 100 to 200% money on the launch. मतलब पैसा डबल तो guaranteed है.
Correct.
ठीक है?
Definitely एक बार check करो. This is a very good technology.
Yeah, I have to do the research. It is.
एक बार check करो.
हाँ, so it is there. I'll check and let you know.
Okay.
Ayush ji, you are asking something, no? Rahul, I'll come to you. Yeah. You have any question?
Sir, what is the procedure to get your demand supply indicator?
हाँ, मैं ठीक है. आप मेरे को एक बार टेलीग्राम में पिंग करो, मैं बताता हूँ आपको. So it's a very simple.
आपको
आपने
कहाँ
टाइप किया
पिंग
था?
करूँ आपका नंबर?
आप ग्रुप में नहीं हो क्या? ग्रुप में हो गया ना?
मैं इनविजिबल ट्रेडर ग्रुप में.
अच्छा, डिस्कशन ग्रुप में नहीं हो आप?
नहीं.
अच्छा, ओके. आप अपना टेलीग्राम का आईडी यहाँ पे चैट में पिंग करो, मैं आपको पिंग करूंगा. यहीं पे करो अभी. टेलीग्राम आईडी इधर दे दो.
ओके सर. फोन नंबर भी सर, फोन नंबर ही होगा ना टेलीग्राम आईडी?
हाँ, आप इसमें जाएगा तो मिल जाएगा आपको टेलीग्राम आईडी. एक्चुअली मतलब सेटिंग में जाओगे तो आईडी दिखा देगा आपको, यूजर नेम. फोन कभी फोन भी होता है. यस. So how much a percentage capital allocation is suggested for crypto investment? That really depends. But if you ask me, currently my investment is less than 5% of my capital, but which is huge. I would not recommend more than 2%. The only thing that I can recommend is basically you can do a SIP. Okay. Any more questions? आपका नहीं दिखा रहा सर फोन नंबर पे तो. Anyway, I'll just stop the recording once. Rahul, you had a question, yeah?
Hi sir, good evening.
Good evening.
हाँ सर, मैंने डॉज मैंने लिया हुआ था 2017 में, और मैंने